Hey everybody, welcome to Kats Creations, live on Friday night at 5 o'clock here on the Southern California coast. I want to welcome you to my kitchen. This is where I do all of my creating. So if this is a first time for you guys joining me, welcome. I do have a YouTube channel. I've noticed that some people are kind of on YouTube but didn't know I have Facebook. Facebook doesn't know I have YouTube. So if you try to find me on YouTube, it's KatsCreationsNMore on YouTube, same as Facebook. It's facebook.com/KatsCreations, all smushed together, 777. So hopefully you guys can tune in if all you're catching is replays on YouTube. A lot of people are saying, how do I find you live? I am live every Friday night at 5, at least through the month of November. At the very beginning of November, I will be off to do my daughter's wedding. So the Friday and the Sunday the Friday for sure won't happen, but the Sunday may or may not. So who's joining us?
We have Lindy.
Hi Lindy.
Audrey.
Hi Audrey.
Peggy, Debbie, Rose, Pam, Trisha, Teresa, Deanna, Sue, Jane, and Connie, and Donna.
Okay, perfect.
Hi gals.
So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna show you how to do kind of what we did with the witch's hat. We're gonna teach you how to wrap the Dollar Tree witch hat form. We're gonna deconstruct this. The one thing that you want to be really super careful about when deconstructing it is because it's a very soft plastic. We broke 2 of them today trying to prep for today's live. So you want to be really cautious and not really wrap it overly hard because you'll snap the places where it's welded together. But you can find these at Dollar Tree. These are the Halloween witches hats. So we're going to pull them all apart and prepare them so that we can make a Santa hat with it. So you'll need those. Obviously, if we're doing a Santa hat for real, we're going to do red on the main part of the hat. Down here is all going to be white. I'm choosing to wrap it with a red metallic Deco mesh. I tried to find high foil, but I don't have any, so I think it should work. And then we're going to do the whole bottom part of the brim in a white snowball mesh. And then we're going to embellish it with some ribbons, I have this, which I bought at Hobby Lobby. It's called a tinsel pom-pom, so that's going to go on the end of our Santa hat because Santa has that little pom-pom kind of thing. You can make one out of yarn. You could just use foil flex tubing and kind of make a bow. You can embellish it and put the ribbon that we're going to put on the bow, bring it up to the top and make a smaller version of it. There's some other things I have here. I don't know if I'm going to use them or not. I have the bowl and base fillers, the red and white that you can get from Hobby Lobby. The large tinsel pom-poms I bought at Hobby Lobby, they come in a package of 8. So as you can see, -1. You'll be able to create 8 of these. I have some flex tubing in the bright red. I have some swirly Christmas balls and then silver jingle bells. So I may or may not use them, but I bring it all out just in case. So
Hi Lou, hi Carol, hi Donna, hi Dale, Libby, Melinda, Ellie, Susan, hi Kathy, hi Vi.
okay.
Hi gals are joining, Brenda's on.
So if you're joining us for the first time, please let us know that you are. We want to invite you to stay and welcome you, but also to find out where you're from. I tried to match people up and kind of create their own wreathing communities wherever they live. So the first thing we're going to do is deconstruct or take everything off of this form. So the first thing you're going to do is you're just going to pull your little boot off. You're going to pull the buckle off. These all, there's some people who save this, and I've seen them do it on their witch's hat where they'll add the black tinsel and they'll make it look like a buckle. You can save this if you want. I might for a future wreath, but not this one, because I want to do a Santa hat and not like Santa's outfit on a hat.
Right.
So the first thing I'm going to do is just find a part and you just unsnip it. And the way that the Dollar Tree wreath forms are is it just goes back and forth around these little knobs. You could take your scissors and just cut it right down the middle and then pull it off on the ends. I found that that has a tendency of being overly messy. So I've already deconstructed a couple of these today, trying to find the best way to do it. This is the way that works for me. So it just shows you how easily these are put together and how there really isn't much there. So here's our black. So you can see I pretty much got through most of it without minimal mess, which was easier than when I did it earlier. I had my entire mat covered in black tinsel. So, and the silver's on there separate. So you just kind of have to work the silver piece.
Hi gals, if you're new, let us know if you're new. Michelle said, love the wreath hat on your door behind you.
Oh yeah, that was, some people had asked if I was going to produce a materials list for today, and I was like, I have to kind of play with it and see what it's going to entail, what I like, what I don't like. And so that one, when I was pulling out ribbon, I was like, I found the burlap in the red foil Deco mesh, and I thought that would make a really pretty rustic one. So I just started playing with the colors. That's when I broke the two.
Hi gals, just jumping on, and Billy is on.
Hi Billy, how are you?
It's our friend from London.
From England.
England. Coningsby, that's right.
Yeah,
England.
not London. Not London. So Billy was nice enough to send me proper English tea, although I still haven't had a cup of it.
We'll do it this weekend.
I really need to do that. Yeah, normally coffee is my beverage of choice in the morning because that helps get me going. But what is she got? Yorkshire.
Yorkshire tea.
Not Yorkshire. I've already been corrected. It is not Yorkshire. That is the American way of saying what it looks like. So it smells good. I just need to make some. So I'm there, Billy. I just got to do it. So let me pull all this apart. Almost there. You can tell that they really cinched their pieces together at the beginning.
Yeah.
And here's where the mess goes. Trying to cut off those last little pieces. Because obviously if we're doing a Santa hat, we don't want black tinsel from our witch's hat to be on this wreath form. So I'm just going to take this because I have enough of it saved that I don't need to try to recycle it again.
Yep.
So if you guys have any questions while I am deconstructing this, let me know.
Hi gals, we're all doing great. Linda said, hey Steve and Kat from coastal North Carolina. Good to be back watching after the Hurricane Florence. Hope you guys didn't have too much flooding.
Yeah.
Hope everyone's doing better.
I hope you're one of the ones that just got a lot of rain. So what you'll notice, let me take the little tie off. That's where our price tag was. On here you'll notice it has these little nubs, and that's where they wrap the tinsel back and forth all the way along. If we try to take the red Deco mesh and wrap it, it's going to stick on these, which is great, but unless you're making it really, really thick, they're also going to pop out and you'll see them. So I found the best way to do that is to carefully cut the little plastic knobs off. Number one, it looks a little nicer. So you just got to be really super careful not to bend the plastic.
Thank you for sharing, Brenda.
Yes, this one you guys can share. So.
Yep, happy Friday. Billy said, ha, feel famous. You will love the tea, it's so tasty.
So Billy, what is the proper way to brew an English a cup of tea? Steve says that you're supposed to add the cream, right?
You're supposed to pour the cream in the cup first and then add the tea to it.
So, is that correct,
That's what
Billy?
I heard.
So we'll see. There'll be like a big tea debate. Didn't you go to like a tea dueling thing with the whole?
Yeah.
So don't they tell you that how to brew? Wasn't that something they covered?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't really how to make the tea. It was how to tea duel.
Oh, okay. You have to see if Billy understands what tea dueling is.
Probably not.
Okay. I try really hard. I was doing these over the trash earlier, but I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. So I'm just snipping all the little nubs off.
Trisha have a great dinner. She said, "Gotta go."
Dinner.
I'll be taking me out for dinner.
I know. We'll be going.
Darlene and a couple other guys say always cut the knobs off too.
Yeah. You just have to be super, super careful because if you put any weight on this at all, it snaps. That was what I did the first time. I was having one heck of a time wrapping that one and trying to keep the edges from showing, and I leaned on it too hard and I snapped it in like 6 different places.
Yeah.
And I was halfway down and I was like, wow.
So she had to redo it all.
Yep. Thank God that wasn't on video. That would have been an ugly video. So you can see I go all the way around the whole outside. Once you get the little nubby things off, then it goes pretty quick. I say that. The most difficult part is wrapping the top evenly. So there's all those plastic knobs. So I'll make sure these are all picked up. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to start wrapping it with the red metallic Deco mesh. You will need 1 zip tie. I prefer the 8-inch ones because they're easier to grab rather than use the little 4-inch ones. So let's move this to the side. I brought my wood burning tool out so I could show you how to wood burn a couple of the white pieces that we'll use to try to incorporate that. So for those of you who wanted to know how to wood burn, we'll show you how to do that. So what I try to do is take the edges, because those are the bane of wrapping this wreath, and pull them to the center. So I'm just going to take these, pull them to the center, and then I'm just going to fold it, kind of squish it down into a little piece. You want to make sure you've got most of it. And then we're going to attach it right here on this first crossbeam. If you notice, the very first section has no center post. The second section does. So we're actually going to do it on the inside facing up. We don't want to be doing it this way because we're going to be flipping this Deco mesh up and over. So we're going to take it. We're going to feed our pipe cleaner through, kind of hold it, go back up the other side. It's a little thick, so just make sure that you have the meat of it secured.
Marie, what you could do is also turn your phone just vertically so you see the texts below you rather than in the middle of her making the hat. Or you could just swipe to the left or right and it takes the comments off.
Yeah, I actually was doing it upside down. I need to be doing it from the back because I need the zip tie on the back and not on the front. Same theory, just from the back. We just want to make sure we're gathering all that end messiness.
Bailey said there's a big debate about how to make the perfect brew. She said she would personally put the tea bag in the cup, add sugar, hot water, and then add some milk.
Okay.
And
That's pretty much
she has never heard of tea dueling, but she's so intrigued. So we'll have to tell you about it.
We'll have to FaceTime you and tell you what that is. So, okay, so that's what we've done. So basically what I've done is I've taken my Deco mesh, I've pulled it to the middle, so I flipped my form over. It's pointing down so that when I go and pull this back up to the top, because remember it's on that single rail, so it generally will go towards the bottom while you're tightening it, but you just pull it up to the top that it will have. And then this is where the fun begins. So
Yep.
this is what it looks like from the other end. So you can see that we have the zip tie. We just need to kind of do a fancy swoop. And you don't have to worry about how perfect your tip is, because you're either going to cover it with a bow, you can cover it with the balls, you can cover it with the flex tubing, you can cover it with the pom-poms. So don't be overly concerned to get a perfect like fold coverage. The thing that you're trying to achieve is to wrap it evenly without it puckering as you're wrapping it downward. And you want to keep your edges kind of tucked in. And you'll notice as we get to about this point, everything will go good. And then sometimes you have to unwrap it 3 or 4 times to get your wrap perfectly.
Hey, Don, at the end, we'll have Kat bring the other hat over so she can show everybody.
Oh, show you guys what I was
And I'll
working
do a
on.
close-up on it later. Yeah, right now I'm going to close up on the hat as you're wrapping it.
So what I'm doing is I go up and I just kind of pull it over. So if you guys saw, are you going close up?
Yeah.
Okay. So I went to the side and I pulled it back up this way. So like I told you, don't need to worry about coverage on the very, very tip at all. So it's just keeping an even tension on your wreath form all the way down. But you also want to make sure, especially with this red going on a black, we want to make sure that we don't see this through the red. So we kind of want to do it pretty thick.
Pretty thick, yeah.
Yeah.
Peggy,
So-
sorry about that. She said she's been bumped off 3 times.
Here?
We're direct, no, probably on her side on her Wi-Fi.
Oh,
We're direct connected to our Ethernet, so
we shouldn't have any
no,
connectivity issues.
not on our side.
Well, we can hope. My group saw that I got booted out. I actually had my video stopped by Facebook. I don't know why, it just stopped. And so I had to restart it again. So we just deal with the pain of technology. Gotta love it, gotta hate it.
Shirley, I don't think we're going to go to dinner at Cracker Barrel tonight. We'll probably go somewhere else.
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
They have a lot of really cute stuff out for Christmas. So see what I was telling you, that this looks really great. You don't have any like puckering. It looks nice and smooth. And then what Steve and I both noticed is as it gets wider, it's harder to maintain this look all the way down.
Yeah.
But just try. You don't want to pull too hard and snap the frame in the middle. So just try to your best of your ability to wind as evenly as you can. Lord, please let this go right the first
See how
time.
she's keeping the material on one side and she's turning the hat.
I can just, Lord, please let it go smoothly. Don't let it unwind. Don't let it pucker. Just let me get it all the way on there. So far, so good. I think it was more challenging.
They're tricky, yeah.
There we go. And there it went.
Oh.
It was more tricky, I think, trying to keep a pattern going. Like on that one, trying to keep the bands of foil even. When you're doing something that is just a flat color, you don't have to struggle so hard. We just want to be consistent and even, because that's what gives you that really pretty Santa look.
Nancy says, running late, tuned in, Red Sox and Yankees are playing.
We're not. We used to be big baseball fans, but
Yeah.
it's that,
But then they traded all the players we liked.
the Angels did.
Yep.
So now we just don't watch them anymore.
Cynthia says the same thing. All of her Facebook Lives that she watches does the same thing. She gets kicked out a lot.
Yeah, it has to do with the connectivity, and that's why we figured out that if we hardwire directly in to our computer's modem, the modem from the cable company, that we generally don't have any broadcast interruptions. It'll look really
Carol,
good.
you could do a white ribbon as well. And
What?
Kath has done. You
I
used
haven't
white
done-
ribbon.
No, I have not wrapped a form with ribbon yet.
Well,
I was going to. I haven't done it yet. So this is as we get down towards the bottom, it gets to be more challenging. And you don't have to have a super, super perfect look when you get to the bottom because your deco mesh is going to cover this much. So far it looks really good. God was nice today because, I don't know. I don't know if it's too much coffee. I was just like, I just need to take a break. This is just not going well. And then when you snap the wreath and you snap the wreath frame and you're like, really, is there a potential that I could rewire that? Can I weld it? Can I melt it? I really don't want to take it all apart now that I just got it all on there. So again, we're doing the same thing. We're going to wire the bulk of my end to the inside of the hat frame. And it's always a challenge to get it going. So just like this, and I can cut off the excess. I don't need to worry about this. Again, it's covered with the hat. So I do want to make sure that there's no sharp edges. So far, this is what it looks like. So it did a really great job. I don't have an awful lot of puckering. It looks very smooth. It looks very even. Like I said, don't have to worry about the tip. People struggle with that all the time. This is what it's going to look like. So it's going to cover the tip anyway. So let me plug in my wood burning tool. So this is one that I have purchased on Amazon. What was it? 25, 27? It came in a kit. So it has a bunch of tips on it. I have never changed the tip that it came with, which looks like a little knife. At the end, it kind of comes to a point. It's kind of angled, and then that's what you're going to use to basically slice down your deco mesh. So we're all done with the red. We're not going to use the red anymore. We just used it to cover our frame. So what I am going to do, because we're going to be covering it, the bottom half with the snowball mesh, we're going to need to do this. Let me keep this here. There we go. Move this over so I can keep this on the tempered glass. This is a tempered glass cutting board. You can get this at Walmart for $7. That's all it is. It has a textured side and it has a smooth side. You can see through, which is what you need in order to make sure your measurements are correct. And then...
Carol, that's a wood burning tool that Kat uses a lot for burning deco mesh.
Yeah.
Works great.
I don't know if you guys can see that.
Keeps a lot of the deco mesh from fraying, and it works really well.
Yeah. So as long as it doesn't have natural fibers in it, you can wood burn.
Yep.
This is how, when we're doing the angels, to keep the angel wings with those
From
really
fraying.
beautiful points, and yeah, to keep it from fraying, because the more you handle it, the more messier it gets. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to grab some white.
See all those other fluffy balls that she got for the top, she got from Hobby Lobby.
These are called large tinsel pom-poms. And it's weird because when you squish it, it feels like snow. Because it's like you can actually feel it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in right here and I'm going to put one pipe cleaner at the end of each point. So I'm just going to twist them on there like twice. I don't really worry about that one, but just so that it's in between the middle.
I'll zoom back in.
Okay. And then I'm going to do this one. So I'm just going to wire this while I'm waiting for that to heat up. It actually heats up pretty quick. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on the whole bottom rail first. So in order to get your bottom rail to work, you start with your center. And this is where those little textured knobs will come into play. So you're going to kind of go, I'm trying to think, the spacing is about like every inch to a half inch. We've got to cover up that black frame, so we've got to really thicken this up. So I just kind of go back and forth. And you don't want to...
Jody asked, has anyone found any more of the witch hats at Dollar Tree? Mine are wiped out and I have orders. Yeah, you can always order online.
Yes.
If you need some in a pinch, ask some of the fellow gals and they might be able to help you out.
Or tell you where they're available.
Yeah.
I know we haven't found any. And we have 4 Dollar Trees in our local area.
In a while, though.
I just bought a case of them online. I was so tired of wasting my gas to try 4 different locations. I was like, this is stupid. I should just order them online and just wait. I think it takes, if it ships to your house, it's a week. I think shipping is like $7, at least it was for me. Or I could go pick them up at my store. It took 2 weeks and no shipping. So it just depends on how quickly you want them.
Kathy, we just said the white pom-poms are from Hobby Lobby.
These?
Yep.
Yeah, they're called large tinsel pom-pom.
Yep.
So, and I think they were at the back of Hobby Lobby where the crafting section is. So far I've added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going back to the middle. And I'm wiring the middle rail to the bottom rail so it won't slide around. And you don't want to overly do it because you'll snap them. So tight enough that they won't move, but not too tight that you'll break the plastic. Because man,
Do you still have the tag for the witch's hat on the SKU number?
Yes.
Or I can grab it.
Yes, I do. It's right there. There you go. It's at the very top. So Steve's got the item number if you want to place an order for those. Are you typing it in?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you can see, I'm going every so often because I've really got to work hard to cover that because the snowball mesh is pretty see-through.
Jody, go ahead and write this down. The SKU number for the Dollar Tree Witch Hat Wreath Frame is 240514.
There you go.
240514.
Type it in there as a comment, and then that way everybody has it. So I'm going to come back in here and do the same thing. I'm going from the middle now to the other side in between, and I'll tell you how many I ended up doing once I get there. I'm trying really hard not to pull too hard. So go down to the bottom and then up through the middle.
Hi Dina, hi gals.
Because Santa's hat, I mean, there's so many different colors you could put on here. You could do red and white striped. We had some really awesome colors, but I was like, Santa's hat has to just be red with white. I mean, we can embellish it a little bit if you wanted to put holly on it, or you want to add more ribbon. What's wrong?
Oh, nothing. A couple said that they've already tried to go online and said out of stock.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know how many I have left. I know I don't have that many. I shall look and see if I can find them. If so, I will let you know. Or if we have any in our local store. So, just, let's see how many I have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and I need one more. So 16 for me.
I think you said between 15 and 17, right?
Yeah.
Would give good coverage.
It would give really great coverage. Because again, we're trying to hide the big black plastic frame.
Right.
So you want to make sure you have great coverage. And then adhering it to the middle frame. So like the middle to the bottom, make sure bottom one. And then from the middle to this row, make sure upper one. So, see how many of these I have. I think I had 11. So, what did I just say we had?
You said 15.
15.
No, you said 16.
Did I?
Yeah, you just added the last one, which was 16.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so 16. I have 11 pieces.
So here's kind of what it looks like.
You can just ask me to hold it up. Okay. So there's some people who will say go in here, don't wrap it all the way to the bottom and go up here. But then if you add embellishments up here and you add it and you don't go all the way, you have a really short brim to your hat and it doesn't look the way that it should. That's just my opinion. So I've seen the wiring diagram. I'm like, I would never wire it that way. So, wood burning tool. Have to have tempered glass. In a pinch, you can use a cookie sheet, but you won't have the line unless maybe you put a ruler on top of your cookie sheet. This is where the tempered glass comes into play. You can get them at Target, Walmart, Bed Bath & Beyond. I think that's pretty much it. They're not that expensive. You can actually use your shelf liner in your fridge if you have a really big piece. So, the odd thing is snowball mesh should not be burned with a wood burning tool because, if you guys can see this, there's like little threads of fluffy cotton thread. But I just decided to try it today to see, could I cut through this or would it stop in each of the natural threads, which is what it normally does when I tell you don't use the wood burning tool as you're sliding it down. So in this case, I am cutting these in 11-inch pieces because I'm adding so many sections. So I have 11, so I need to cut 5. So here's my 11-inch mark. And if you notice on your Deco mesh piece, your lines on the grids they kind of zigzag back and forth. So what you want to do is you want to find your 11 mark, and then you want to stay in that little square channel and run it all the way down and follow it as it zigs and zags. And then what it does is it gives you a perfect cut. You don't have those like little wonky cuts. So there's 12. So again, I just pull this out, making sure that it's all straight. Start at the 11 mark. Find a...
I'll be right back.
Okay. Can you hand me something so I can read it, or no? Probably not. Okay, so there's 13. So I'm going to pull this back out. We're going to do 14, 15, 16, so 3 more pieces. And the reason why we cut in the channel is just to guarantee that you have a straight piece. So don't follow the line on your cutting board, just follow the line on your Deco mesh piece. And then you get a, it's kind of hard to see it. It's straight, so it doesn't go. That's what happens if you try to just go straight down the 11 and go right through each little channel that's there. So it pays to make sure that your top line here and your bottom line here are both straight on your 1-inch mark before you find your 11, and then just stay in your channel. And I'm just doing it slow because it's as you get older, your eyes have a tendency of not finding small things very quickly. So here's the last one. So I just thought I'd throw this in there because people always ask, can you show us how to use the wood burning tool? This is exactly how you do it. So we stay in here, and it seems to have no problem going through the little pieces of cotton. I try when I'm picking one of the channels to try to make sure there's not a lot of those little balls of cotton in it as I go. Let me move this out of the way just so I don't burn myself. So I usually put it back here. And then, let's see. Steve's got my phone so far away, and he just walked out, so. What you're gonna do right now is you're gonna ruffle. So on every single one of these pieces, you're gonna take your 10-inch Deco mesh piece. This is white snowball mesh. I got this from Craft Outlet. I wanna say it's somewhere right around $6.95 maybe, might be a little higher. The snowball mesh generally is. It's the one that we will use to do our snowman, a lot of the winter stuff, anything that you want to kind of have this really pretty snowball iridescent effect to, and it plays off really good with the tinsel pom-pom. So, okay. What we do when we're doing our ruffle is we find a middle ground. So in this case, it's going to be this entire line right here. So you just kind of follow it and scrunch up to the top. And I usually start on one side and just work my way over. I'll go up and down, just all the way. People ask, does it have a tendency of stacking? Yes, it will, but at the very end, we're gonna kind of fluff everything. So my goal is just to make sure I don't miss any of them. So let me do this. Again, be really careful when you're twisting them that you don't, because they're on those two plastic pieces, you don't snap them. So now I get to just grab these and put this to the side. I really want my phone. You can see it sitting there. And generally people don't call us in the middle of our live unless it's urgent. So we shall see what is happening. So our goal is to cover as much of this as possible. This is where it will cling to your items. Go grab my phone. Hold on one second. This way I can operate it and I can zoom in. So give me 1 second. Let me zoom in on what I'm doing. It'll take just a minute to kind of zoom in. Okay, go back. I think that should work for you guys. Hi Kathy, no worries, got home from work. We're pretty much just same process in doing the witch's hat wreath, but we are doing Santa hat instead. So if we do need to go back in and add more, obviously we can. We can add more to our Deco mesh pieces. Thanks, Deborah. Yay! I took it away from you.
Okay.
They can take it back. So I could zoom in on my own so they can actually see what we're doing.
I think you cut these, what, 10 by 12 inches, right?
These are cut to 11.
11 inches. So they're 11-inch pieces.
Yes. 10. Well, this is a 10.5-inch Deco mesh. It's weird. Hobby Lobby, or not Hobby Lobby, Craft Outlet sells the Snowball 10-inch Deco mesh in 10.5-inch length. So it's almost putting it in a perfect square. Little lopsided. So I'm just going up and down, and my whole goal is to fill. Okay. Then we're doing the bottom. So I'm going up, down, because I kind of zigzagged and made sure that my pieces were in the center. So, do you guys have any questions? Where are you at, babe?
Well, log me out and log me back in.
Oh, because you took a call.
I'm trying to wait for it to come back.
Okay.
I know Denise earlier asked, would you cover the back with felt? No, you don't need to.
No.
Because the back has got the full.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's got that whole nice look.
Yeah.
Looks a little different than the front does, because obviously we want to put our focus on the front, but there's no need because you're technically covering it all with the wrap around the brim. Brim? What do you call it? No, brim is this.
The brim is the bottom part.
Yeah. What's this part called?
The hat.
No, there's a technical term for that.
I don't know.
Now it's going to drive me crazy until I know what that is.
Yeah.
So I'm just twisting these about 3 different like I'm twisting them 3 times. I don't know if I'm gonna wanna come in and add anything else to the deco mesh piece.
The car asks, are you laying the ruffles side or flat? You're laying them up and down towards the top of the hat and away from the bottom.
Yeah, it just depends. Like
That
here
one kind of looks side to side.
is going side to side, yeah. And then the next one might be on top of that one. Because I'm kind of going up, down, up, down.
I think she's just trying to fill
Right now I'm just trying to stick them in there.
the crown, I guess.
Maybe.
The crown is the top, I guess.
Yes.
Thank you, Leva.
That sounds correct.
Robin, yes, she alternated between the bottom in the center and the top in the center.
Yeah.
So she had 16 total. And she went all the way
I have
around.
more on the bottom than I do on the top. Like I said, our goal is hide the black
I think
plastic.
he's got 9 on the bottom and 7 on the top.
I think there's more than that because you have the 2 on each end. So are you counting the 2 on the ends as being top or bottom? Because I see them as it's just going all the way
I
around.
see him as the sides, kind of.
Okay.
Lindy said the bottom is the broom, the red part is the crown.
Okay. The brim, not the brim, right?
Brim.
Yes. So it does get challenging as you get closer to the end because you're fighting laying those in there.
Yeah, so she used 16 pipe cleaners. Thank you, Deb.
What?
Deb said 16.
Yes. So I'm just going up and down and up and down. But these will be super cute. I mean, I spent the week looking at Pinterest and looking at different variations because people, you know, they change them up. They added peppermints to them. They added embellishments to them. So it's entirely up to you. You can make them all your own. You can add elf legs to the bottom, which I always thought looks funny because the hat is so big and then you have these little legs.
I know.
So it's like if you're gonna add legs, maybe make your legs kind of go in conjunction with the hat. Because I was gonna bring the elf legs out. And I was like, that's the first thing that I noticed. There's the OCD part that says those don't look like size-wise that they would make sense to be put together like that.
I think Kat will put a hook on the top.
Yes, they will.
She'll put a hook with one of the pipe cleaners on the very top so you can hook it.
More likely it's wire. That's what I did with that one. I added wire to it because wire's easier to go through the thickness of the deco mesh. So I have just a few left.
Right, Susie? She said those frames are awesome with Santa hats and elf hats and witch hats and
And
princess
scarecrow
hats.
hats and princess hats. What does that sound like when we're doing that? Oh, it sounds like You've Got Mail, where she's like talking about the ballerina shoes book.
Oh, yeah.
Ice skating shoes and ballerina shoes, and I would start with ballerina shoes.
Yeah. That's my favorite.
That's my favorite. Skating shoes is my favorite too.
Lindy said the little legs give it some comedy if you like did the elf hat.
I guess. I don't know. I'm so picky about what I'll choose to do and what I won't do because I'm going to tell you this right now. I will not be doing reindeer butts. I won't be doing elf butts. What else will I not do?
Well, it sounds like your phone or your electronics are working again. She was going to log off. She said they were kind of messing up.
Oh. So, our goal is just to make sure. Well, I have 3, but I only have...
Eileen said, can you make anything with the witch's boot? You actually don't have a witch's boot, do you?
I didn't try that. Somebody else asked me about that, and... Oh, I do have 2. I don't know what you could do as far as the shoe goes. I don't know. I guess at Thanksgiving time, maybe you can make a pilgrim boot, maybe with the belt buckle. I don't know. So now I'm trying to find the one that I missed. So
You know what I
shall see.
thought would be cool, although obviously you can't sell it.
You?
Yeah. Is if you turned that hat to the side
Oh, I found one.
and did it in all white, you could maybe make it like Zero from Jack Skellington.
Maybe. I think that's a stretch.
That'd be interesting to try.
It'd be a stretch. So I'm going back in. I did find one I missed, which is right here. And I have another one that's at the very top. When you start laying them in, you can almost miss a couple. And I do have another one right here.
Yeah, Kat's made cornucopias before. Frances said she did the spider web.
Spider web?
Elf boot. She said somebody's done an elf boot with a witch's boot.
Oh, with the hat? Or the shoe?
The shoe, yeah.
I think that there's probably a couple variations you can do. Well, because you're looking at a low, like it, not a boot. Like
Right.
you could do a cowboy boot with it.
Right.
So I'm adding my last one.
Shirley asked me, how much would you charge for this one?
I think I have this one listed. It's got a placeholder right now on my page. I think I'm asking 42 because the materials are so fluffy and whatever. So
It's a little more for the snowball.
yeah, well, just everything. Snowball mesh, the Deco mesh. So that's what it looks like from the front. So see why you wouldn't want to start higher up, because you would have your the brim would be way up here, and then you just have like this much. I just don't see that.
Right.
So it's pretty well covered. I mean,
Yeah, very well covered.
this is what it looks like from the back. Because I always ask people, they're like, "Can you show us the back?" Yes, I can. Okay. So as you can see, no fraying, no pieces on my mat at all. That's why we like the wood burning method, because it does give you an awful lot of advantage by doing it that way. So I'm going to create the bow for my Santa's brim. It's going to kind of go right here in this area here. And so I'm going to do it with the Bodabra, just because it works easier for me. I don't have to wire anything and assemble my, this is it, it's assembled, ready to go. The ribbon that I'm using is going to be this Christmas ribbon, 2.5 inches from Hobby Lobby. So it's kind of got more red with just a little touch of the red and white. And then we're gonna do this one, which is this like a red sheer, but it's got the little fuzzy
Oh, yeah.
on the side. So I'm kind of keeping the fuzzy and the red and white together. So we're gonna do 2 loops with the 2.5, so it'll be 2 on either side, and then 2 loops of the 1.5 inch. So we have to.
Hi gals, just join in. Feel free to go ahead and share because this is on a regular group. Nancy said she wrapped the witch's boot and made an arrangement in it. It was really neat looking.
I bet. Why am I not finding my scissors?
So Nancy, if you maybe could show up, send a pic to everybody, that'd be great.
How am I missing my scissors? That was like one of my tools.
I think they might have fell on the floor. I heard
That's
something
right,
fall.
they did. Yes, they did. Okay, so we know that we always got to get rid of that unavoidable fold that happens at the beginning of all of our ribbons.
Ruth and Adele said they love it. Looks really pretty.
Thank you.
Regina said it's looking really pretty.
So now what we're going to do,
Hi, Linda.
this one does not have wire on the outside. It's wired where the red and white meet the solid red. So to do our dovetail, we're just going to fold it in half. And we're going to do it from the folded side to the corner, so just like this, to give you that perfect cut. So it's going to be a little bit different because you're trying to get through the wire that isn't on the edge.
That's interesting.
Huh?
So that's interesting.
I know, right? Let me see. This is going to be about...
Cheryl, she put 16 pipe cleaners on a hat. Probably around 9 or 10 on the bottom and 5 or 6 on the top.
Yeah, now I'm going to have to go back and look. I'll have to watch the video and count. So I'm doing a 6-inch tail. So I'm just going to slide it into my Bodabra. This does have a right and a wrong side, so what I should have done was twisted and then put it in, because then it does my twist automatically. And the reason why I move my Bodabra back and forth is it keeps my ribbon from like twisting, so I don't have to keep untwisting it. So I'm going to kind of eyeball it for now. kind of looking at how I did that one. Kind of have to almost keep it a little bit small. So this is a 4-inch
4-inch
loops.
loop.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do 4-inch loops.
That ribbon is from Hobby Lobby.
Yes.
Are they
Hobby
both?
Lobby.
They're both from Hobby Lobby?
This is from Sam's Club.
Okay.
So 2 loops on both sides.
So the 2.5 is from Hobby Lobby, the 1.5 is from Sam's Club.
This is $9.99 for 30 feet. So 60% off is $6. So, and then you can physically go and look at it. That's why I kind of like Hobby Lobby for their Christmas ribbons, because I like to be able to look at what you kind of want to look at it. You want to see it. You want to, it's hard when you're trying to shop and get ribbon online. So again, 6-inch tail. So we're going to cut it right here. So I'm just going to cut it off and then do my dovetail. So I'm just going to do it, fold it, and go from here to the point. I'm going to try to hold this. So we have our dovetail. And then we're going to take our fuzzy 1.5 inch and kind of place that right on the top. So let me get rid of the dreaded fold. So this one does have the wire to the outside edge, but you still want to make sure you have finished edges. It just looks nicer. Because we have our ribbon here, we're going to put our ribbon here, so we always do a twist and then put it inside. So there's our 6-inch tails. And I generally, when I'm doing the 1.5 inch ribbon, I'll bring it in. And let me see. This one's probably going to be about 3 inches. 3. So 3 inches for the middle one, for the little one. Make sure I'm doing it right on this side. There we go. And then once you've got your initial measurement, then you just twist and push it back in there, and then you can kind of put your fingers in the bows and measure them. So here's the last one. Twist, drop it in, pull it, and then flip this again. And we're going to cut it right about here. That takes care of that. Put our dovetail cut on it. Because this is actually going to go on top of the white, I'm actually going to do a red pipe cleaner. I was thinking I was going to do it white so you wouldn't see it, but there's so much red. If I put white in the middle, I don't know. Let's try white. We'll try it.
Hi Peggy, welcome back. Sorry you're having problems.
So we're going to fold our pipe cleaner for our ribbon.
Michelle, this is called the Bodabra. You can get it at any craft store, Michael's, Joann's, Hobby Lobby. You can order it on Amazon.
Hobby Lobby, take the 40% off.
If you have a Hobby Lobby near you,
It's like $8.
it's about $15, 40% off. Yeah, you get it for about $9.
Yeah. So now there is my bow. This is it's gonna sit down in this general area right here. So what I'm gonna do is take this and I'm gonna feed it down. Should be really easy to feed it through the other side.
Should be.
Should being the key word. You don't want to pull it too tight, because if you pull it too tight, you make your bow go like a little baby shark mouth, right?
Yep.
It's my new song,
Nope.
Baby Shark.
Don't start singing it.
Sure. Yes. I don't know why I like it. Steve hates it.
No, it's not that I hate it. Just once it's in your head, you can't stop singing.
Yeah. So now we're just going to pull our tails to the bottom. So we're going to pull these down to the bottom. You don't have to go with this ribbon. Obviously Santa doesn't have a ribbon on his hat, but it would just look dreadfully plain if you didn't. You could add sprigs of holly to this. I think that would make that look really pretty. So I'm going to kind of flip it around and do some more flipping. So don't get into the habit of leaning on that. That's how you snap your frame. From experience, I might add. I can tell you that. So there we go. I like the ribbon a lot.
That's pretty.
Yeah. Might add a jingle bell to the middle of it.
That'd
Just
be
because
cool.
Santa has bells. Right?
Yep. Jean said you make it look so easy.
It actually is easy. That part was the worst. Hearing the helicopters. Like you can hear the police. What does that even mean?
I don't know.
How are you supposed to... What does that mean? Stay inside the house, don't come out? Which is what I hate. It's like... I'm
Yeah.
sure... I can hear them right now.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's weird.
Last time we had that, it was a police pursuit off the freeway. So, that's super cute. So this is what it looks like so far.
That's so cute.
So it's going to be time to attach our little pom-pom to Santa's wreath. And the way that we're going to do that, because like I said, it's super squishy, is you're going to take a piece of wire, because a wire loves to go right through the deco, or the deco mesh that we've wound. So I like to give myself way more than enough. So we'll see how this works, if it'll go through. So we'll make sure. I want to make sure it's not going to pull. Oh, but I think I want to go in deeper a little bit. Grab some more of that.
Debbie, the 2.5 inch came from Hobby Lobby, and the 1.5 inch came from Sam's Club. I said that looks super cute.
Sound.
Yes, Susie, the tinsel balls came from Hobby Lobby. Yep. Comes 8 in a package. Yeah, something's got to be going on.
Something major's going on. Normally we do it if there's kids missing. Okay. I'm just trying to get it a big enough bite out of the ball. Should probably go from the middle to the outside.
Oh, that's nice. Rubia said, Kat, your voice is so soothing. It just makes it so much easier to listen to you. Thank you for being such a great teacher, I believe she said.
Well, thank you.
Linda, she hasn't cut the pipe cleaners off of the ends yet. I don't know if she's going to do anything with it.
I always leave them on in case I change my mind, because that's why people are like, well, can you give us some materials list? I'm like, it kind of is a work in progress. I bring out everything that I think I'll need, and then it kind of just evolves from there. So I have wired my tinsel pom-pom on, twisted the wire a couple times so that when I get it to stick on my hat, it should stick. Make sure my wire's nice and straight. And it goes right through. So not a problem. So I'm going to do the other thing. I'm going to try to bring it up a little high. Our goal is to make sure it goes through the plastic frame. So just like so. And then you're just going to twist it to the back. So that was the one thing that I think I noticed on a lot of people's wreaths, the Santa Hat wreaths. If they were doing the Santa Hat, they weren't putting the little pom-pom on the end.
Yeah.
And I was thinking there has to be a way to make one of those work.
Yep.
So I just went to Hobby Lobby and I bought a very large tinsely pom-pom.
Michelle, yes, there's 2.5 inch ribbon and 1.5 inch ribbon. And the
Yeah.
fuzzy ball came from Hobby Lobby.
So just like that, so you can see what they look like.
And Nancy, it is a witch's hat frame from Dollar Tree, and it's only $1, and it's plastic. So she deconstructs the witch's hat and then makes a new hat.
Make it my own.
Yep.
Okay, so this is what we have so far. I am going to add a bell to the bow, like to the center of the bow. Hobby Lobby. Because about this time every year I just shop local, because I know that's what everybody else is going to be doing. They're all going to be shopping local. Most of this stuff, I haven't even checked Craft Outlet or the Wreath Shop in a long time. I don't even know if they have anything left that's Christmas inspired. I usually make sure I have it like way in advance. So that's why shopping local pays. So I'm just going to thread this through again. So here's my jingle bell.
It's so funny. I do see that there are some comments I'm looking on your phone,
Uh-huh.
that come through on your phone, but they don't come through on mine when I'm looking at them. So I don't know if it was Sandra Hughes, I think it was, but
Okay.
she posted something about she used those balls last year, the white fuzzy balls last
Mhm.
year, and then she said she's definitely going to do this and go back to Hobby Lobby,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't show up on my phone when I'm reading the comments. Interesting.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Technology works wonders. So I'm gonna take this again.
So Sandra, if that was you, put a little emoji on it and repeat that question, or repeat what you said. Put an emoji at the front of it.
I'm just feeding.
Jean, I will show the hat on the door here in just a little bit.
Yes, my primitive hat. Because there's people who wanted me. We're gonna be doing that too in the private group. We're gonna be doing a rustic primitive hat. I'm trying to keep it as close to the center as possible. So I'm gonna have to refluff my bow now, but that's okay. So I'm twisting, 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 twisting. So let me fluff. There we go.
Alan, I see your comment briefly, and I do have my comments swiped to the left. I can see the comments, but for whatever reason, I'm not seeing all of them. I'm only seeing
weird.
some of them.
Well, I noted, well,
Like even Alan's comment when he just posted it, I saw it
Uh-huh.
briefly on your phone,
and then it went away.
and then it went away. Yeah.
I don't see, something's going on. Watch, there'll be another update to Facebook. So that's what I did. I added the little ball in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I don't want to come back in because I brought out flex tubing. If you wanted to, you could go in and add flex tubing if you want to pull more of the red into the white. I don't think I want to do that.
I didn't know it's the way it is. It looks really good.
I know. I have these that came as a 3-ball set. So this is like an option you can do. You can come back in and add those if you didn't want the ball. These came from Michael's. They were like $1.99. But I'm gonna look at adding, let's see. I brought out 2 different colors of the bases and fillers. That's why I brought a giant plastic bag.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to look at the sizes because the sizes are different. Let me look and see whether or not I like these. Normally I'm pretty particular. I like a pretty clean look, but let's see. These ones might be a little challenging to get them on, but it might give them the definition. I'm trying to find my other
Cheryl, the snowballs are from Hobby Lobby.
There it is. It's way under there.
Susie said, I made one of my pom-poms that was made of yarn, and she put the red styrofoam fillers in the pipe cleaners. That'd be interesting.
Red.
She made the pom-poms out of yarn, white yarn.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I was saying. There's a lot of people who are really crafty like that. I'm not crafty. I can put the wreath together, and that's about it. I don't want to get into like cutting my yarn. So I'm just changing. I kind of like the look of adding the little glitter balls.
Mm-hmm.
I think it just adds that extra dimension. But these ones have like little things glued to the top, so when you go to pop them in, they don't want to go in all the way. You have to kind of find that in-between spot
Mm-hmm.
where you can get them to go in.
You could actually cut the pipe cleaners down just a little bit to help them kind of tuck inside.
I like to be able to play with them and move them wherever I want them to be. So see, this is kind of the look. So
That's cute.
every other one is a good thing. Like do one white, do a large white.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it? A small red, a big red, small white.
Yeah, how did you attach the top of the pom-pom to the hat?
Oh, with the pom pom, I
Yeah.
took a piece of wire and I just took a big chunk of this because the wire's really nice and
Oh, gotcha.
I
Okay.
poked it. and then I poked it through the back and just twisted it on there.
Gotcha. Rosemary said you could also just glue it to the top.
You could.
I think the glue actually breaks down the pom pom though, so.
I don't know.
But you could do it
You
either
could
way.
dip and stick it on there.
Susie said those fillers are cute.
So I'm just, this is where you can find all your little, man, some of these are glued on. Like you almost have to.
Sandra, finally got your post now. She says that was my comment about the yarn last year.
Oh.
She retyped it again, but I guess it didn't go through. But I was saying she liked Kat's idea about
the little thing.
Yeah.
I'm all about trying to find a way to save time.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find the little ones too. Because I want little ones and big ones.
And yes, you will go back and glue.
I do.
The
I
pot,
will glue them all back
glue the
in.
little fillers into the top of the Pipecleaners.
Yeah, I brought my glue gun, but not my cord. But that's just something that I don't think you guys want to sit here and watch me do is glue all my balls back on. So there's that.
I said I'm loving that hat. Since Mom is still in the hospital, I'm going to work on hats this weekend.
These are perfect because I think the size is great for anywhere. You can put these on an office cubicle.
Yep.
You can,
Little room. Yep.
yeah, hospital room.
Yep.
Because you can't have, when you're visiting patients, you can't have florals. So you can brighten up their room. You can make, like I said, the scarecrow one. I'm trying to find where the holes are.
Yep.
Here's a little one. The little ones go on much better than the bigger ones. So now I'm just trying to find my pipe cleaners.
So Coral earlier said, so cute and pretty. You made it look super easy. That makes me want to make lots of them.
Yeah, and think about it. You can make like little ski hats. You can get creative and get flannel or Christmas fabric and wrap the fabric instead of the Deco mesh.
Or ribbon too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you have to add something to it because the frame is so thin. It needs something with some weight to it. So I think.
It's okay, Sandra. We get it.
What's that?
You said that's not my mad face, Cat and Steve, on my last comment. It's okay. I've accidentally hit that too, and once you do it,
Yeah, you can't undo it.
I don't think you can undo it.
You can't. So I was like, wow, someone was mad. I'm like, nah, more likely it was an accident.
Regina said, are you using different colors? You're just using the red and the white.
Red and white, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going through and making sure that I'm putting one on every single pipe cleaner.
Hi, Carolyn. She said hi from Ontario, Canada, another Canadian.
Oh, very cool.
Viazan, she's also from
Canada. Yes.
I think she's close to Toronto.
So I'm just looking for my pipe cleaners.
Cheryl said elf hat, you could do green and red. Yep.
Yes. I mean, that was one I was like, can we get two in one? I'm like, it took me, that one wrapping it, I swear I was ready to give it up. I was like, please, it cannot seriously go this tough in our life.
I zoomed in a bit on the other hat just for now.
Okay. And I think that's about it. I think I've found all my pipe cleaners. Seems like there should be some more, but nope. Oh, here's one. So the nice thing about the pipe cleaners is I can drag them where I want them to go. So if I have too many red in one area, let me show you what we did. Let me throw these back in the bag before my cats find them. Now I can see the cats going, oh, look at all the fun we could have with these. Because they could just pick them up and run away with them. So this is what you do with all your supplies. So it makes it much easier. And then you take your label, because someone will inevitably ask you, where'd you get those? And you're like, I don't know. I think I got them somewhere else. So we do need to add a hanger to the back of this. So like Steve says, we could camouflage it with red. So this is what it looks like here. So let me,
Regina, yes, that was a wood burning tool she used on the mesh.
yes. So I am moving that.
Susan says she uses a fine tip on her glue gun and makes a hole and glue all at one time. Interesting.
To do what?
I guess she's got a finer tip on her glue gun,
Uh-huh.
so she can make a hole with the glue gun.
Oh.
And then,
Okay. That would work.
yeah.
So I try to keep the hanger very small because I don't want it to go past the hat. So just small enough. So I'm going to cut this down a little bit. So all I did is poke it through the Deco mesh. So I'm going to show you what I'm working on. All I did is poke it through my Deco mesh. And so now I'm just going to kind of come in here and just twist my pipe cleaner around it.
So Christina, you can see the back right now. She used a witch's hat from Dollar Tree. She deconstructed it to make this Santa hat.
Yep.
And you can kind of see the frame.
Yeah, it's right here. But when we flip it around this way, you can't see it.
Yep.
Which should be our goal, right?
Yep.
Okay, just making sure. Okay. We have this one. All right. So with all of that being said, I just have to make sure I put that back in there because I'm afraid I'll lose it.
Wendy said, I love the addition of the little sparkly fillers.
I think I needed it. Like I said, there's so many different variations that you can add on there. You could add little sprigs of holly. You can make your bows a lot bigger if you wanted. So let me show you how this one will go. So I have an overly large hook on here. So just because it has to hold up my wreaths and not so much the Santa hats. So
Michelle said, beautiful. Debbie said, absolutely adorable.
we're just going to keep it simple. So this is where having those little fillers, you can kind of play with where you want the color. You can cut them down if you want. So I'm trying to keep it level. Would work better on a much shorter hook. So
Christina said, love it. Brenda said, that's beautiful.
awesome.
Now you're going to show everybody the other one.
Yeah, so this was the one that I did earlier because I wanted something more rustic. So I did not do the scatters and fillers because rustic, I think of like your reds, greens, beiges. I don't know if the scatters and fillers would come in there. I just wanted to keep it simple with such a high contrast between the Deco mesh and the burlap, and then the wrap, and then I just extended the bow. So it's a smaller version of this one up on top, and then I just added a red and a green ball, keeping together with, what is it, gold, beige, red and green. So yeah, both of them. So I just like to keep things simple. I like to keep things clean, I guess.
Everybody
you
said,
could-
super cute. Kathy said, you always do such beautiful work.
Thanks.
Beautiful, beautiful. Bailey, which is still on.
Oh.
Super late. Said amazing. It's
I'm
like
like, what is it?
2:15 in the morning.
Yeah, 2:15 in the morning in England. So
Cheryl says, love the rustic one. A lot of gals said, so cute.
yeah, because I'm like looking at that. I mean, you could totally take that in a whole different direction. You can add peppermint candies to it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you can kind of do like a play on it and do like a Mrs. Claus kind of hat
You could.
and add some more feminine touches instead of doing like the scatters and fillers. You could come in here with the little ribbon and make little bows and put bows everywhere. There's just so many different variations, and that's where I think just trying to find a way to make it your own is the beauty of why you can look at wreaths and go, wow, there's just so many Santa hats. It's like, just make it your own. Just kind of play with it. That's kind of how this one evolved. It was just a work and play. Brought everything out, cut everything up, played, deconstructed.
Michelle asked, did you have to alternate the green mesh and the burlap mesh? Looks like you did, right? Every other one?
No.
Or did you do one in each?
Yeah, there's one in each. So when I did it, I did the, what is it? The burlap in red is one piece, and then the green is another. So I just scrunched on one and then went right into the green and then added that to every single pipe cleaner. And then I just fluffed them all when I was done.
And then they said, how did you attach the hanger? She missed that part.
Oh,
You could show them on the back, I guess, just the hanger.
this one?
Either one. The other one has a hanger too, right?
Yeah, but it's wire. This one is, I'll move that one to the side. So it just goes right through the Deco mesh with the pipe cleaner, and I just cut it down and made a little loop. Because I don't know about you guys, I don't want to see the loop way up here.
Right.
I don't want to see the loop above the hat. So I kind of put it a little bit further in, so when it hangs on the door, you don't see the loop. We can't on this door because the screw that Steve puts in for all the wreaths to hold the weight is probably what, like 3 inches out. So most people don't have a 3-inch, what do you call it, screw sticking out of their door. So that's it. What other questions do you guys have?
Oh, Billy said she's been there the whole time. She says therapeutic to watch.
Thank you.
Darlene, the hat is a witch's hat from Dollar Tree. So she deconstructed the witch's hat and then remade it.
Wait a second. I'm gonna look and see.
So of course, that small feathers would work for Mrs. Santa's hat. That would be cute.
Yes, that would be super cute.
Little white feathers, yeah.
So look, let me pull my tinsel out of this one. This was the witch's hat. It had all that tinsel on it. It said boo. This is the one that broke apart.
Yeah.
So it snapped on the bottom, snapped on the top. So this was don't do this, because literally when I was tying bows on or here, you could just hear it crack and snap. So I was like, great. After I got it all the way wound perfectly after 15 different attempts, I had to take it all apart.
So you do have to be careful because yeah, they will.
Yeah,
break.
see, they snap apart pretty easily. So just be careful. Even when you're wrapping it, don't overly like tighten it because you'll snap all your plastic welds
Yep.
or whatever.
Brenda said I'm making a really cheap wreath to take to a craft show to show the difference in quality of work between a cheap one and a really expensive one.
Okay.
So
Are you looking for ideas of like how to make a cheap one?
I guess she put a question mark at the end of it to show the difference.
Between
Like, would you do that? Would you prefer that, or would you just? I think you just bring your quality ones and not have a cheap one, right?
Well, it depends, right? Because there's the level of the person who can take low end, not really low end. I could go to Dollar Tree and put together an entire wreath and not use high quality Deco mesh. I could just put one together using all Dollar Tree items. So I think it's the skill of the wreath maker too.
Right.
So if you know how you can utilize those materials, then I think you can turn in a great quality product. Because remember, we did that for the Halloween one. I showed you how we could take a Halloween wreath for $15 and turn it into a $45 or $50 wreath. And people just went crazy over that, thinking, wow, that does not look like a $15 wreath. So I've seen people, when I go to craft shows, you can see the quality. You can see whether or not they spaced out their pipe cleaners enough to make sure they had good coverage.
Right.
Some people just put it on there just to get it on there, and that's their whole goal. I see them all day long in the Facebook marketplace. You know, people selling wreaths for $20 or $25, and it's like, you look at that and you're like, you can kind of see how they put it all together.
Yeah.
So you can make a great quality wreath from, I hate that cheap. I just hate that word because it's not cheap.
From inexpensive
An affordable, with affordable materials and turn out a great quality product. So maybe we'll do that in our November class. We'll do a challenge. What's the difference between using a high quality, like do a side by side of this is using $15 worth of materials, this is using $40 worth of materials.
Right.
Same wreath, same theory, just different looks.
Sakura, that's right. She said it's only cheap if the craftsmanship is cheap.
Yeah, but even still, I mean, look, the Dollar Tree wreath frame worked perfect. You could probably go out and find a Santa Hat wreath form at, I don't know, Craft Outlet or the Reshop and probably pay $4 or $5 for it and have a metal one, which is great. But then you have to pay to ship it, and then you know you start, okay, well I'm going to pad my order to try to get closer to free shipping. And like I said, I haven't been on the internet to know what do the Christmas supplies look like right now. Like, is there much out there in the way of ribbon? Is there much out there in the way of materials, deco mesh? I'm thinking that most of it's probably, if it's Christmas related, it's probably gone.
Cheryl, the size of her cuts of mesh for her ruffles were a 10.5 inch deco mesh, and she cut it to 11 inches.
Yeah.
She used the wood burning tool.
The snowball mesh comes in a 10.5 inch roll.
Yep.
So,
And
and
there
I
were
cut it down
16.
to 11.
Yep.
You can go less, but I think if you went less, you're going to start to see the transparency of that black frame.
Right.
Now, here's another idea. You can take it, you can spray paint it with like 99-cent, because I know
Paint.
Lowe's sells cheap paint for 99 cents, but it's got great coverage. And just spray paint the whole thing white, and then you don't have to worry so much about having to use so much material to cover that black frame. Option you have.
But I said it's so different here, I guess in Canada. She got a question why she was charging $45 for one of my super full fall wreaths. And she just said, I'd say thank you for the interest. So it just depends on the area where you're at. Like if you go to a cheap marketplace, craft fair or something,
Yeah.
people aren't going to want to spend the money.
Right. I know just within Southern California, I know if I wanted to, let's say for example, garner $55 for each of these wreaths, I know exactly where to market them.
Yeah.
I know exactly where to go in. You know, we have the higher clientele down in Newport Beach, Orange County, Huntington Beach, Beverly Hills. You can get into LA. You could probably sell these for like $75, and people would be paying $75 all day long. You can look at Pottery Barn, Williams-Sonoma wreaths, and those are like $215, and there's nothing to them. It's the label. So it just depends on what you decide to do with it. So remember, we don't sell generally to our own community. We sell through the internet, kind of.
Michelle, preferably you should use the wood burning tool. If you do have a soldering iron, that does work as well. But burning the edges with the lighter doesn't really work that great because it doesn't keep a straight edge.
You have no control over the lighter at all.
Yep.
So you know, even sitting here taking this like this, and trying to do that, you're just going to get an uneven, rough edge.
Yep.
So it's so much easier. I mean, I think Walmart has them for $15. You just want to make sure that your soldering iron or wood burning tool goes up to 450 degrees. That's what I have mine set for. If you're not doing, you shouldn't be using it on material like this that has natural fiber, but like I said, it's just like in clumps, but it just goes right through it.
Right.
If you're doing it on the regular Deco mesh, it literally just, I mean, I can sit there and slice it
Cuts
and
it like
just,
butter.
pull it out, slice, pull, slice, pull, slice. It's nice.
Bonnie said she painted her frame for her candy corn hat. So
Okay.
Francine
see?
sent such beautiful work. So I think we're done. If you just want
Hold them
to
up.
hold them up and
So both of these are available on my Etsy shop, which is etsy.com/shop/KatsCreations. You can pick either one of them up. I don't replicate any of my designs. So this one will never be made by me again. Same thing with the rustic one. I might do variations, change up the colors, change up the embellishments, but I don't repeat my designs. So that's why when I post them, I'm like, that's it. This is the only one I'm making. So if you like it, go pick it up. And if not, well, now you guys know how to make them. So.
Michelle, for the bottom, for all of the ruffles, it's 16 pieces.
Yep.
She had 16 pipe cleaners and 16 pieces of
You can
deco.
see all the Pipecleaners.
Yep.
This one's a little bit different.
Yep.
Can't really see that one that much. This
Okay.
one held it better. Okay. Well, you guys have a great weekend. Sunday night, private group, we're doing a bows class. So we're going over pro bows, Bodabra hand bows, terry bows. It's just nothing but bows. So just bring some ribbon to the Sunday night class. If you are not in my private group and you want to be, it's $17 a month. And right now what we're doing for the month of October is there are 9 private tutorials that are going to take place during the month of October, plus 4 that are on the Fridays. So you're technically getting 13 tutorials. You get all the materials lists, all the links, all the measurements. You get discounts from our vendors. What else? Access to my entire library. So I've been doing wreaths since February of 2017 in the private group. So anything that I've done in the private group, from the Christmas tree wreath that you guys are seeing on a lot of wreath makers that are buying the custom-made boards to make those, I teach you how to do it without doing a board, with skewers and, what was it, skewers and a wreath hanger.
Yeah.
Skewers and a wreath hanger, and you can pull that look off.
Yep.
The flowers, the sunflowers, we're making poinsettias for the month of October. So I'm going to be teaching the private group how to do your poinsettia flowers. So it's well worth it if you guys think about it, because most people spend like $9.99 to order a tutorial. This way you have access to all of them. So,
and it's on the very top of your Cats Creations page, how to join.
Yeah. Once this video ends, just look at the very top and it says, here's how to join the private group. You sign up. Once you've signed up, I just approve you, and then go to town. The angel tree topper's on there. Trying to think of all the other crazy ones we've done.
Yeah.
They're all there. So,
Yep.
All right. I will talk to you guys later. Have a great weekend. Have a great night. Message me if you guys have any questions. Have a good night, everyone. Bye-bye.